Hello, my name is Shadley and welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as Mexico. In previous episode we managed to take Idaho. Unfortunately we can't colonize the native area over here due to Oregon still having a claim on that state. But we'll deal with that later. We've got 4 years until we can do another war against them. In the meanwhile, it's probably a good idea for us to just strengthen our economy, increase the army size so that eventually we'll be ready to fight the Americans. And start reducing the border gold that they produce in here with their colonization. I think in the first war that we do against the Americans, we'll take New Mexico from them, or whatever they have in New Mexico, Arizona and Texas. Ooh, there we go. So the wealth voting is now 2/3 done. There's election season going on at the same time though. Liberal Party doesn't have that much support, nor does the Free Trade Party, so Conservative Party is probably going to be the biggest party once again. And we're getting pretty good money from the investment pool again. We've got almost over 6 million in there, though, to be fair. So there's a lot of room to be using it. But I suppose once we get more iron mines, we did just get the tooling workshop, so the tool price should be going down, at least to some degree. I mean, I suppose they are still probably hiring. I know they hired already. We could go for the water to boiler, but no, we don't need to reduce the worker numbers necessarily yet. We've still got plenty available. Oh, if we have a look at the standard of living, Colorado, Arizona, and Nevada are the biggest ones. Everything else is... Oh, Costa Rica is actually pretty decent as well. Mostly because there's not enough workers to run everything. He can say what he wants, so the Conservative Party now gets a bit more support from that. For this election, but it's not the end of the world. We'll hopefully be able to pass the wealth voting anyway. And after that, we'll try to pass the total separation. I don't expect it to pass, to be fair. Could we... Right, so if we take away the industrialists out of the government, but I'd rather not do that. I'd rather keep them there so we can maybe try passing the interventionism, which will then allow us to start using the investment pool a lot more and start using a lot more money on the constructions and all that. And that way our economy will probably take quite a nice upturn. Now we got 13.7 million GDP, and the number 10, which is Prussia on the GDP list, has 17.7, so we're only 4 million behind. Also, we are not getting all that quick increase in here, but let's have a look. We've got room in the construction queue already a bit more. I could get another porcelain or glasswork in here. Get that underway. Another tooling workshop after that, I think. And then, let's have a look. Is there any food items that we need more? I mean, groceries, yes, but like, I'm thinking about farms. Grain is in a bit of a need, actually, so we could probably get another maize farm in here. Or two. Maybe we'll put one of them before the tooling workshop. Oh, gold depleted in Colorado. Oh no. Oh, it is unfortunate. There's still one gold field over there, but I suppose that reduces the infrastructure need. So we could build one of the gold mines in there without the infrastructure getting used all the way. How's Arizona doing? So we've got quite a bit of gold mines in there. The infrastructure level there is 5 max. We're using 8 for the gold mines, so yeah, it's not the best. At least it's offering a lot of work there. And we're getting a lot of money out of it as well. So I suppose we could maybe do a war against New Granada for Panama. They do have quite an army though, so I don't know if we'd be able to win that yet. They've got 28 battalions. Oh, and now we've got wealth voting. Excellent. Unfortunately, the election just went by, so, well, there's no guarantee that we'll win the next one. Right, so I wanted to check the quality of their troops here. Oh, irregulars with no artillery. Okay, so it's a larger army than what we have without the conscripts, of course. But we've got a lot better quality. So we might actually be able to win that without too many issues. So we've got a few of the buildings over here already underway. We're getting the logging camp. How's the iron situation now? We've got a little bit of deficit in there, or we're not producing quite enough, but the difference is fairly small overall. How's the steel price? It's... Oh, right, we're producing a lot of it already. Alright, there's still a bit of extra steel. There's a lot of gold production. That's for sure. And the services, we could use a bit more. How's the glass situation? We're spending a bit more than what we have. I suppose we are building another glasswork, so I think at this stage I could probably just go actually to all of these and switch them to the market square. So that's going to be an extra 40 glass right now, which is a decent bit. But at least it's going to be a lot of services produced. Which then means, of course, the service price is going to go down, which means that people can afford using the services a bit more, which thus should leave them more money for other things, so their needs will be made a bit easier. Might not be all that quickly, mind you, but a little bit at least. Can I don't suppose I can subsidize this. No. Right, so the Arts Academy isn't really making a lot of money. I suppose the wealth average is not particularly great. I mean, the upper strata is prosperous. Middle strata is actually quite secure as well. Low strata, on the other hand, which is the vast majority of our nation, it's not all that wealthy. I mean, if we do have a look, so 10.3 million are lower strata, and then there's about 840,000 or 35,000, somewhere around there, of middle and upper strata combined. So, yeah. Not exactly the best, perhaps. The glasswork is making a lot of money, tooling workshop is making a lot of money, furniture manufacturer could do a lot of money as well, so we'll get another one of those. Maybe get another logging camp in the meanwhile as well. Speaking of which, we're currently getting one in Idaho. That's still taking a oh wow. Construction efficiency there is minus 95. Okay, first of all, let's go ahead and use a bit of a decree in there to maybe provide some welfare payments in there. Maybe we can reduce the turmoil just a little bit so the state construction efficiency is not going to be minus 75% because that is taking a while. Admittedly, one of the things that it does help right now is that we actually get a lot of money from the investment pool used, so we're gathering up quite a bit of cash in the meanwhile. So we did manage to pass the voting law. Let's have a look at if we could maybe do the total separation. Armed Forces and Intelligentsia support it. Clergy, of course, does not support it, but it wouldn't really be too bad. Of course, Intelligentsia is not part of the government, so that's a bit of a problem. I don't suppose if we were to do that, it would reduce the legitimacy a lot. It would increase radicals a tiny bit, loyalists a little bit as well. Wouldn't be too bad though, so we are going to go for that one. We'll stop bolstering the industrialists and start bolstering the intelligentsia instead. And now if we try to pass the total separation, we've got 25% a starting point in there. So we could probably pass it. So there we go. Oh, now we've got more loyalists than we've got radicals. Well, that's with the voting law, of course, changing. That is helping. But now there's a state, or preserve state religion. Ooh. 20,000 more radicals per month right now. But if... oh, right, yeah, that makes a lot of loyals, if need be. It looks like the population is increasing pretty well in our nation, even though we're not doing conquest right now, which admittedly is quite helpful. I suppose if we've got a lot of iron... do we have a lot of iron? We've got a decent bit of iron, I suppose. Tools are a little bit short, though. But we could potentially... you know what, since California has a lot of places for... oh, wow, there's a lot of agriculture there as well. Okay, we'll build a construction sector over there. Gonna be a little bit expensive. But the sooner we get that one up and running, and then, you know, California is probably going to be growing fairly quickly overall. It's getting a decent bit of migration. The standard of living over there isn't all that good, to be fair, but we can start increasing the productions in here slowly but surely. Ooh, we're going to get wheat farms in there. We'll get one underway. And put that onto the vineyards. We will probably put in the harvesting tools there as well, although the harvesting tools are a bit expensive. You want to... you know what, Mosquito Kingdom, we could probably take a defensive battle at you for the time being. Right, and we have no infamy right now. So if we wanted to do the war against New Granada, we could probably do that soon. I mean, how much do they have troops? We've got 22 battalions total, although it's probably going to be just one army that's going to be doing all the fighting, which is 15 battalions. So not that massive, but if we do have a look at the quality, it's still just irregulars. So if we were to go and conquer Panama... there's only 3 nations that could join. Mosquito Kingdom we are friendly with. We're also friendly with USA and Great Britain for the time being, so I don't think we will have anyone interfering. Let's go for that one then. Let's activate the army from Mexico. Actually, is it still here? No. Oh, have we lost it? Oh, has it been... is it down here? Okay, mobilize. Oh. Opium addicts and scarred. Not exactly the best. We'll go for that one. Now we're making 30,000. Oh, wow. Right, we're getting the investment pool transfers with 2 buildings. That kind of makes sense, I suppose. Right, total separation. Backroom dealings exposed. We're going to afford losing a little bit of bureaucracy, I suppose. Oh, but that's 1 setback from there, okay. Or minus 15%. I'm going to suffer 1 setback. I'm not entirely sure if that's going to be the disaster that we are hoping to avoid. We'll see how it goes. So their defense is average 23. Okay, now 26, so they're probably getting a little bit extra in there. We do have another... Well, I suppose we've got a little bit battalions down here. Another 5 that we could send in. Bring those in to do defense. In case we lose battles, then we won't at least lose quite as much territory in the process. Especially when we're fighting inside their territory. But yeah, we're making pretty good money. I mean, the investment pool is now slowly going down, but it's very slow. Now we're getting a logging camp. We're getting... Oh, right, so that logging camp is still taking forever to build. We're getting 1 progress per week. Okay. Well, I mean, as I say, it's good money from the investment pool in the meanwhile. But I do want to... Oh, duel. Petty bourgeoisie leader and a general. Oh. We'll stop that fight for now. So I mean, it's... the turmoil, I think it has gone down a little bit. It was 57% before, wasn't it? But no, it's fluctuating, let's just say. Going a bit up and down there. Alright then, how is the... Right, I mean, there's still a lot of things that we need drastically in our market in here. Hey, we're at least 14 million in GDP. Of course, to reach the top 10, we need to have 18. So we'll go about a bit shy of 4 million difference in there to reach that. But we're slowly getting there. And there's no one else joining in this war either. Gold discovered in Sonora. Ooh. Down here where our iron mines are. There's only 1 gold field though. There we go, the war has started. Low progress to study. Oh, there we go. We've got 15 attacking, potentially up to 25 defenders. There's 21 defenders. They did a plunder, though, so that's going to be quite a nice bonus for us in here for the time being. So we should be able to break through this line without too much issues. Oh, now we've got program supply line. Moralos is going to be increased, so we are going to have a lot more demoralized troops. But I think we've still got decent advantage in terms of numbers, so I think we'll be... Oh, they're exhausted. Moralos plus 15%. Yeah, okay, this is going to be an easy victory here. We'll get Panama. So we'll be able to build Panama Canal in this run, I suppose. Although that's not anytime soon, I reckon. Oh, we need to have a level 5 university to get the bonuses from the university. Okay, or the philosophy department. We could probably build this one a few levels. We'll put in 1 more paper mill and maybe another tooling workshop. Gold depleted in Nevada. Alright, let's have a look at the Nevada situation then. So there's still 5 gold fields in there. So it's still pretty bad in terms of infrastructure, but it's not quite as bad as it was before. So we got our first battle done. Our second battle now we... Oh, right. We had more troops in there in terms of manpower. Of course, the amount of battalions that they had was higher, but it's not too bad. And the railway... Do we have... Oh, we don't have anything else queued up right now. Let's have a look at the military. We'd probably queue up the logistics to speed that one up. And then in society, we could maybe help with the central archives. And then after that, we'll see what we can do in the... Well, I suppose we could go for the canneries after that, if that is still underway. I don't know if it is. We'll give it a go, at least. So once we get the railways, we can start... Well, I suppose we don't have engines being produced yet anywhere. I'm going to start building engines over here in Veracruz. We don't need a lot of them yet, but once we start building some trains, then that is going to be very much needed. And there we go. Now we'll reach the future Panama Canal area. We'll go by the book, so we don't radicalize the Catholics there yet. Oh, there we go. That's going to be another glorious victory for our army here. But yeah, in the next war that we're going to do against New Granada, we'll just make them a dominion or something. It's a little bit sure we'll just turn all the South America into our dominions. So they can then actually... Just out of curiosity. Oh, railways unlocked. Excellent. So, where are the places we need most? So, Sonora, Arizona, and Nevada. Nevada, you're going to be our first railway. Actually, that's over here, isn't it? Yeah. There we go. So, we'll build our first railway there. That's going to be after the engine or motor industries. And we've got some of these universities. We'll build those first. Get through all of that. Yeah, I wanted to check one thing in here. Let's say Venezuela, for example, in the meanwhile. So, if we go for... Like in Venezuela, make a dominion... We can change the Dominion. A Dominion is a more autonomous subject that are able to start their own diplomatic place and not forced to join the Overlord's wars. They must pay 25% of their treasury income to the Overlord each week. Okay. That's decent. We could, of course, go for puppets instead, which is 30% of their income, and forced to join the Overlord's wars. Okay. I mean, I kind of think that I'll probably just turn them into Dominions. If they want to do wars against one another, they might be able to, actually. I just want the money from there. and bring them into the market at least. Because there should be a decent bit of stuff in there to be utilized, especially rubber in Venezuela and Colombia, or New Granada as it is right now, or is it? Yeah, New Granada. There we go, that should be another victory, and I suspect that they will be probably soon done with the war. They wanted to humiliate me. I don't think that went all quite like you planned. Let's just lower the taxes for a little bit. And I suppose we're going to increase the wages a bit, because we are making way too much money right now. We are almost full on gold reserves, and I think the inflation is going to start having a bit of an impact soon enough. So we'd rather avoid that. Ooh, there's a bit of a fight in here. Just manpower, we're still kind of leading, or winning from the start. Well, actually not that. This is going to be a close battle, actually. With them being camouflaged and all that. If we blunder now, then we might lose this. Well, we're lost right now, so I guess that's not much better, but it's not much worse either. Hey, low progressive voting. So we might be able to pass the total separation. I wasn't expecting this to actually happen, I'll be quite honest. I ain't complaining that if it does pass, then that's good. Because then the armed forces... Actually, what does it mean that the... If completed armed forces members of POPs become more loyalist and... Sponsored government... 9 years of more legitimacy. Okay, that's actually quite nice. At the minute, the legitimacy right now isn't all that good. But we've got the wealth voting already in, so that does help in future elections. Do we have a lot of iron still? There's a bit of demand for iron actually, so we might want to build another iron mine soon enough. Let's build another one in the capital. We've got plenty of infra... I think we've got plenty of infra... We actually don't have that much infrastructure in here, so let's build a railway there as well. Slowly start spreading the railway into the nation. I think at this stage we're just going to stop advancing. We've conquered as much as we needed. They are probably going to be willing to take the peace deal in about a week anyway. So that is going to allow us to get Panama. There we go. Let's have a quick look at the... Right, do we have... we do have clippers in here now, so we can start increasing the fish production. Revolution? Uh-oh. Right, 80%. Oh, never mind, it's 54% now. So yeah, this... probably not going to happen, I think. I know that they did change something with their revolutions. Oh, logistics unlocked. Right, considerable battalions. What are we doing next? Central Archives, after that, the Canaries. I think the Canaries might be done before that. Yeah, it probably is. Well, I suppose that's good enough. I mean, in the military stuff, we've still got quite a few things in here. Triage would be actually quite handy to get. We've got alcohol, and we do have opium, or potential for opium in our nation. Oh. Is revolutionary. I do wonder if it's actually going to happen or not. 3 weeks until the next checkpoint. Okay. And it's producing a lot of radicals. I'm hoping that this law passes now. Before the revolution. It did. Haha. Total separation. Current petition accepted, so we got a bit... Oh. Ugh. Authority is not looking good, though. Okay, well, I suppose we could stop bolstering the intelligence here for a little bit. So that's a bit less of a penalty from there. Catholic Church is not particularly happy. Oh, Catholic Church is probably not in the government right now. That would make sense. But they are quite angry, although I suspect that it will slowly start improving again. Once they get at least to 9 points or something like that, we could bring them back into the Conservative Party, or back into the government, which should help with the situation at least a little bit. I don't know if it's going to be solving all the issues that we have. Probably not. Right, so we've got some tools. I mean, tool demand is still relatively high, but we could probably do at least a little bit of... we'll get another construction sector over here in Jalisco. And logging camp in Idaho is still underway. I mean, it will be done eventually. Once that's done, then... Well, actually, I suppose we got still logging camp and wheat farms and all that. So it's going to take a while before we run out of that. Hey, we're now number 11 in GDP. Russia is at 20.5 million. We're 15.1, so they've actually managed to gain a bit of extra distance to us right now. But I suppose since our construction is kind of stuck over here in Idaho, it's causing a lot of issues there. And Colorado is also not building all that quickly. Is there? There's a bit of turmoil in there. It's not too bad, but it could definitely be better. And are the radical numbers now going down? They are slowly dropping at least. And there we go. The Catholic Church is no longer upset, so we could bring them back into the government, although... You know what, we're going to just switch it back to only Conservative Party in the government right now. Increase the legitimacy, which means that loyalist numbers are going to start hopefully going up, and radical numbers hopefully going down. I mean, we've got a lot of radicals in the Central America area, a little bit spread out elsewhere, as well as, you know, Idaho and Colorado, for example, do have a decent bit. It's not the worst. But we managed to pass that law. I'm a little bit surprised by that, I'll be honest. But we done did it. Oh, well, okay. The voting laws are only upwards there, so census suffrage... not gonna happen. I mean, single party state, we need to... Oh, political agitation. Okay. That's gonna take a while then. How far are we from the university? We've still got a few more buildings to do before we get to the university. So we get another 3 universities, we'll get up to around 68. A little bit more than that in total innovation. And we're gonna have up to 86 already max innovation, so we could probably increase the stuff quite a bit further. So I'm finally losing a bit of money here. Because I think keeping somewhere around 50% of the max gold reserves is probably going to be the most ideal, or between sort of, let's say, 5 and 50%, somewhere around there. So you'll always have a bit of money in there. You're not paying a lot of extra interest, but at the same time, you're not just, you know, letting the money sit in your treasury for doing nothing. There we go. We've got construction speed of 50 now, total. I mean, it's not the worst. Could definitely be better though, but it's a step correction, or a step to the correct direction at least. So gold mines are going to be done very shortly, then we'll start working on the furniture manufacturing on full speed. I mean, it's already working on full speed there. Another logging camp is going to start building, so that's going to give us even more money. Oh, bollocks. I mean, it's a good thing to have money. There's been plenty of runs that I've had where we haven't had the money. But right now, we just got plenty of it. A bit too much of it, quite frankly. Right, so over here we've got... I'm going to increase the barracks numbers over here to 10. Also going to build a few other things in the meanwhile. So it's not going to be just the barracks, but the barracks are going to be sort of put within there. Small arms, okay, we could probably get an arms industry. Another level. What else do we need? Luxury furniture or luxury clothing. We are going to get another... No, we're not getting another classwork. Okay, we'll put that one in there. And then let's put in some of these barracks. So we'll put in the arms industry after the first barracks. Then a glasswork. We could probably get another coal mine in here. Although, well, actually, let's get a port in here. And then we're going to have one more in between. Oh, wow, now we're making 20. Well, I suppose we got a full... Right, yeah, we're making a lot of... This very... Oh, the building in Idaho is finally done. We're going to get a tiny bit of wood from there. I don't know if that was really worth it, just starting to build it all the way there. Although, I suppose it did allow us to use a bit of the investment pool, so it wasn't all bad. But it took a long while to build it. That's for sure. And we haven't gotten the motor industries yet. It is underway, though, but it's going to take a while. Now, what else could we use? I mean... Okay, furniture isn't that much in demand. Is clothing? Clothing is in actually pretty high demand. How's the... So in San Salvador, we do have already one level of textile. Well, we could probably get another level in there. That's going to allow us to spread a little bit of the industry, so not all industry is just going to be Mexico City, so that, you know, the standard of living will also start increasing in other states as well, because not all the population lives in our capital, although it is probably about, what, 1/5? Around 1/5 of the population, yeah. Right, so our truce with Oregon is probably going to be ending soon-ish. Now, they are probably even weaker than that one. Well, they got 5 battalions, so they're not actually that much weaker, necessarily, but they're not particularly strong either. Ah, right, Central Archives, so that allows us to get the standardized filing system, which increases the paper consumption even further, but does also increase the bureaucracy. So I suppose we are probably going to do that. Paper production is having a bit of issues, so we are getting another paper mill actually right now, so that's not the end of the world then. If we go for this one, it's going to be another 220 paper needed, and we'll get a lot of bureaucracy out from it, to be fair. Oh, but now we... Oh. Construction... Oh, hold on a bit. Yeah, okay. Now we're not getting any money from the investment pool again. So that's why we're losing 30,000. And we've got 2.6 million, so we're not really in short of cash yet. But we might need another paper mill, I'm just saying. Let's get that underway. I'll probably be making pretty good money, I dare say. How's the class situation, actually? I believe we do have a tiny bit extra in here, oddly enough. We're getting the cannery, so... Ooh, right, we can start using a bit of fish for the grocery production, then. So that is underway. What are we getting in the military? Powers of Purse, and we don't have any naval bases yet. Egalitarianism would unlock another party. I think what we're going to do, we're going to stay with the production, go for the intensive agriculture. That's going to allow us to produce a lot more food, and then maybe the distillation improvement. And then after that, we'll figure out what we need. But there we go, we've got one of the universities already on. We're building a second one of the 3 that we started building. So cannery is unlocked. Let's go through the urban over here. So we've got the food industries, cannery. So we need a bit more iron, but the iron price is not going to be affected too much. We'll be producing a lot more groceries, and the grain demand is going to be reduced. So that's quite nice. But now we're losing 29, 28... Oh, devout scandal. We'll ignore it, so that the Catholic Church will lose a little bit more of their clout, I hope. I suppose... Oh, it's minus 10% education access, right. Well, at least the situation is getting better. Slowly but surely, and in terms of GDP, we are still... Oh, wow. 5.5 million behind Prussia, roughly speaking. I mean, now we're getting a lot of industries, to be fair, so that will probably help to some degree. But we might need to get a little bit more things. I suppose the railway should be part of the infrastructure, isn't it? So that would be constructed with the investment pool transfers. Or the investment pool. I mean, we've got almost 7 million there already. So that is definitely piling up a lot of cash there. America still hasn't started, so well, let's have a look at Europe. We haven't really had a check on that. So Prussia is... It has been growing. Austria hasn't really done too much by the looks of it. Italy hasn't formed yet. Oh, Constantine. Right, okay. Oh, right, they did change Algeria, didn't they? I remember reading that in the patch notes. Oh, and Great Britain... Oh, right, yeah, I switched it so that it's the stripe, so it's no longer the flag. So Great Britain is trying to do something in here, but they are being... Right, okay, Turkana. Oh, over there. Oh, and they probably lost the war against... Oh, yeah, they lost Kenya. So they can't reach there, is the problem. Okay, I mean, I'm okay with that. Oh, and Portugal is slowly... Oh, right, yeah, so they don't control quite as much from the get-go here. Indochina is looking pretty much as it usually does. And Indonesia is looking pretty much the same as usual as well. Ah, Britain does have Hong Kong. And Russia hasn't taken Outer Manchuria yet. All things considered, not too much out of the ordinary, I suppose. But we are unfortunately out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Also got the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.